What's up, guys? So I'm Jwall. Name's Jake. I'm from Rhode Island, but I go to school currently at Northeastern University in Boston. So I'm a full-time college student, but I also play a lot of Madden. And I play competitively, obviously. And I've won a lot of online tournaments, and then as well the Patriots Club Championship last year. And I ended up getting I won another game and ended up losing in the top 16 of that tournament to Blocky. And I've also just recently I was in the last chance qualifier and I made the finals of that side before I lost to D Croft, who you guys might have seen came in second in the Madden Bowl and is one of my best friends. So, oh, hold on 1 second, my cat. Sorry. We're back. So yeah, that's I guess all about me. I play a lot of Madden and I go to school.
Mentioned I had D Croft actually host me a couple times.
Oh, really?
Been trying to get. I'm trying to get him on the show. Actually,
yeah, I'll push him too.
Tried to get an interview on him, and he was like, "I don't know." I'm like,
yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's how you do that.
But so what goes into your preparation of getting ready for these events? Do they change and differ per event?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. There's certain events, so like the Madden Classic, which I haven't gone to, but I prepared with my friends for it, versus like one of these tournaments like Club Series or Draft Champions. They're really different. Because in terms of preparation, it's a lot easier when you can prepare for someone's scheme, like a certain scheme beforehand. You have a day, you have time, and you can work with your friends. You know, they run this, they run these plays. You have film, classic, or even the Draft Champions tournament where you don't know exactly what someone's going to do, and it's honestly really hard to prepare for those. You kind of have to work on yourself more, and have to know how to perfect what you're doing, and then just sort of have to adapt once you figure out what they're doing in game. So I would say it's definitely different going into different sort of tournaments. I personally really enjoy when I can have that extra day with my friends, watch the film, go over what I need to do, and like what I'll do in these certain situations. Especially just for me defensively, because I definitely think I struggle on that side more. So when I can kind of think out what I'm going to do before the game in certain situations, it helps me a ton. So I really like those sort of tournaments.
Now, when you get into all this, what would you pick? Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite that you like more than the other? Like you like salary cap or you like in draft champions?
This year, I definitely like draft champions, but that's just because there's no abilities, and I don't like the abilities.
I'm with you.
But I think, I think generally, I think generally, like probably salary cap's my favorite, just because you can make your team, and that's really fun to me. And you can use old players, new players, like your favorite players. Like last year, my favorite card in the game was Austin Eckler, so he was on all my teams. No real reason, just love that guy. And like Michael Vick, favorite card in Madden. So it's always fun, like getting to use the crazy cards, and I enjoy that. So I guess I'd go salary cap.
Yeah, I've messed around with salary cap a little bit. I haven't really dug into it, but I like the concept of it. Like you said, everybody's team's different, and that's what I really like about it because I get sick of the same stuff. Like when you're playing just regular MUT, you tend to run into the same players all the time.
Yeah,
and abilities. I just like I'm over them. I'm a football guy. I played since I was 6 years old and retired at 33. Played college football, played minor league football, and that's the kind of football I want to play again.
But I haven't seen any abilities on a football team.
Not yet. I mean, because if I could get some, I mean, I would already use them.
If I could get power specialist, I mean, I'd be in the NFL right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just gonna go Moss. Start a ball up, touchdown, first play every game, I'm good. Now when it's like tournament time, like when you're locking in for the tournament, Now, do you? I've heard a lot of these guys, man. Like, and I'm kind of baffled by it. Is that these guys are staying up all night before the game? They have to play the
Mm,
next day. Are you
yeah,
one of
no.
those
So
guys?
I am very I value sleep a lot. So no.
He said, "I bet."
Um, I've actually like had that situation where I'm just like, do I go to sleep? Do I keep playing the game? Like I don't feel 100% like ready for something, but I'm like, no, I need to sleep. I need to get like 8 hours of sleep because I think it's important. Madden is a game where you have to be. It's so much thinking and reflexes and all those kind of things. And I know I might be like overthinking it, but I think that stuff's important. And just in general, being like awake and like feeling good when you're gonna play is the most important thing to me.
Yeah, I know.
Because
Fancy says you have gotten no sleep before playing Skimbo.
oh, this is true though. I That's another thing. Just like the nerves. That was my first live event. Was when I played Skimbo in the Patriots club last year, and I couldn't sleep at all. I literally, I probably slept 1 hour, and I was so tired. But I just ran off of like straight adrenaline. I think for that, and it worked. But I do not recommend it.
He
Uh,
said, "I
and
don't recommend."
yeah, in any form of competition, I recommend sleep.
I would think sleep would be very important. Like, I mean,
Uh,
like you said, you get into the reflexes of the game. You're getting into reading defenses, and
mhm.
your action is going to speak for itself. Like if you're lagging, like I mean, I feel like who was it? It was like Bugs, I think it
Oh
was.
yeah, Bugs looked like he
And
was half
Bill,
asleep.
he looked like he was about to like crash out, like he was on a 48-hour binge run
Uh
or
huh.
something, man. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
there's no way this guy's thinking right. He's no way he's
Mhm.
reacting to what's coming at him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I was baffled by it. Like I was
Mhm.
like, do these guys really stay up like that? And I would think doing that would put you in a worse spot.
That's exactly how I feel. Like the way I think about it, and this is in terms of like pretty much everything I like think about. I think about this a ton for school actually. Is the idea of like staying up right before a test or going to sleep. And in my opinion, it's like the work you put in those like 2 weeks or whatever before the test, before the game, are way more important and gonna do a lot more for you than the like 5 hours you're gonna get right before.
Yeah.
If you're gonna sacrifice your sleep.
That's what I
That's
mean.
why.
I feel the same. I would feel the same way. I mean, to me, I feel like it's like an over prep for it. Like you're gonna over
Mm-hmm.
prep and then you're gonna
Yeah.
do worse on it because
Yeah.
you've done so much and you haven't gave yourself time
Mm-hmm.
to absorb it and reliterate it and just think about what could come, what could come out of you just banging the same person,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the same thing down to get one stop. But like
Yeah.
it feels like if you do that, they're gonna come out and you're gonna be overthinking what they're doing, and you're just gonna
Mm-hmm. I
get beat
agree.
up quick. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we've seen it from a couple people in the bowl this year that over prepared, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a such thing, but I would feel like if you're staying up the whole night before and then you got to
Yeah.
stay up and you're
Yeah.
playing game and you have to play another game, like you're gonna get lagged out, man. Like it's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
bad.
You never. Yeah. I always think about that too. Like I don't want to get burnt out. I play the best when I really love the game and like want to play. So that's something I like have to work on just like during the regular year is like I don't want to overplay and then dislike the game and not want to put time into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
I
something
mean, you guys like what's a typical when you're getting what do you typically put into Madden in a
in
prepping
a
for?
week.
Yeah, like when you're prepping for a tournament, like what
Oh,
is
prepping for a tournament. Ah, it really depends. Honestly, for me, it doesn't change a lot. I'm pretty consistent on like how much time I'm putting in. Um, like on a per week basis, I'd say at school I was probably only playing like maybe like I mean only, but like compared to some people this isn't a lot, but like 3 hours a day.
wow.
I would say. Uh, and I think the more important thing than just like time is just making sure you're putting in time to the right things. Like a lot of people will kind of just play the game, not really think about what they're doing, not really think about how they could improve. And that's what I always think is the most important thing, like purposeful practice. Like I'll go into a game, I'll work on this thing. If I'm struggling against something, I'll go into practice mode, I'll figure it out. And that's way more important to me than just playing a lot of games. That doesn't really get you better. I know like
There's too much cheese in the game. It's too easy to be blitzed with 8 people, 9 people, and like there's just too much in the game that like
Yeah, but even more than that, I just think I don't know, I'm coming at it from like even like as like a football player,
yeah.
uh there's like the guy who's I don't know, always in the weight room or like always practicing stuff, but they never seem to get better. I don't know if that's always a thing for me
No,
when I'm
I mean,
playing
I
basketball.
get it. I mean, there's guys that
And
just they do all the right things. It's just they're not meant to do
yeah,
everything.
but it's different. It's different than that. It's like you're practicing a lot, but you're not really putting time into the right things,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's something I like really think is important is putting time into things.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
Mhm.
that's why I like these interviews because everybody has a different take on
Yeah, no,
how
I
they
totally
prep
agree.
and everything. Like from noon to you is a whole other way he preps than you're prepping. So I
Hmm.
think it's pretty cool to like be able to really get to see to hear the difference in how you guys go about it. Now you got to play the man with the legend Michael Skimbo. That man got
Hmm.
what 3 belts now, something like that.
I believe he has three. Yes.
So what was I mean the nerves had to have been like just
On
crazy
it,
playing him.
honestly, I don't know. So usually I'm like somewhat nervous in competition,
Yeah,
but for some reason in that game, I think it was just like I had nothing to lose because I had no reputation. I had nothing going for me really in
yeah.
Madden. So I kind of just went out there like they say the scariest opponent is someone who has nothing to lose, and that was true. I just kind of went out there and let it go and let it all out there, and it worked. I wasn't nervous at all. I remember like I had to kick a field goal to win that game, like a 50 something yard field goal, uh, with like the game on the line. And usually in that situation, I'm so nervous. I'm the worst field goal kicker ever. I suck at field goals.
E
But
books.
for that, but for that one, I was not nervous at all. I kicked it perfect. Like I just remember in that game, it's sort of a feeling where I was so locked into the game, I couldn't think about being nervous, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
I was just so into the game, and it's honestly one of the most it's some of the most fun I've had playing Madden. Not just because I won, but just because of how like into the game I was.
That's just gonna
Yeah.
be that. I know you were living after you won that to take him down. I
Hmm.
knew
Yeah.
you had to have been like cloud 9,
Uh
not
huh.
knowing where you
No,
were.
that's the feeling. That's exactly how I said. I remember I had an interview right after, and I walked up, and I was like in a daze because I was so. It was like I was still in the game. I couldn't process what was going on because I was just so focused. And it's honestly a feeling I want to figure out how to get back because like if I could get in that mindset all the time for tournament games, that would be amazing. Like that's what you want is where you're so in the game you can't think about being
Yeah,
nervous or like repercussions, like anything like that. Like you just want to be in the game. And I've definitely gotten a lot better at that, at working on that. So I guess just going back to like the last thing was talking about preparation. I think like mentally preparing yourself and like envisioning success, envisioning what you're going to do throughout the game. And one of the things one of my really good friends told me in Madden, Manu Ginobili, if you guys know him, is one good play at a time,
hmm
and that's like the best. That's the best thing that I do when I'm preparing, just like thinking through that, like one good play. You don't
good
have to
play
put it
needs
all
to the next
together.
good play.
Exactly.
Yep,
Uh,
that's a philosophy. A lot of like guys that play at a higher level, they learn
yeah.
to live with like that. Like I said, I've played. I'm kind of the same way. Like I was always one of those guys. Like I see these guys, some of these guys, man, they make one bad play and it's over. Like the game is over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not
No, I
coming
know
back.
that
Like I
those type
felt
of
like
things.
Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley was one of the guys. This
Mm-hmm.
man, like it's like he made one bad play and he was just back from it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I agree 100% is having that mental, having your mental right and just having yourself to a point where you look, I can make a play and mess up. I can also make the play, be right back in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
I mean, I felt like Joke made that step this year. I felt like
Mm-hmm.
he made a huge, huge jump. I felt like he grew up. Like
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
typical Joke is, oh, I'm getting here. He's already ahead that he's gonna win, and
Yeah.
he's not playing his game. He gets in his head. He gets in his head too much. But this year, you've seen it. Like he grew up, and he was like, "Look, I'm bagging these people.
Yeah.
This is in my sight. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just gonna play my game."
Uh-huh.
And you've seen it. He played his
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. No, and you saw it like, and even in the Madden Bowl, he made the mistake like in groups. I don't know if you remember the run commit where he
Yeah, yeah,
lost
yeah,
the game
yeah.
basically on the run commit.
Over
Like
the
that would be
top.
like the
Yeah.
classic. That'd be like the classic joke, like
Yep. I was.
losing a game that he dominated,
Mhm.
and then he came back and won the tournament, and that was really impressive because
Yeah, I mean, sometimes your head don't come back from those things.
yeah,
That's a
exactly,
big
like
mistake. You know what I mean? That was a huge
exactly.
mistake. But
Uh-huh.
now,
But he came back.
what's your plans going into the 21 and the Madden 21? I mean,
I think I'm excited because I think a big thing I was talking about this a little bit earlier for me was it was hard to balance school and Madden at the start of the year for me and like figure out how much I want to do of each. Um, but I think I kind of figured that out as the year went on, and I'm excited to have like a full year where I can kind of know what I want to do and how to use my time better. And then additionally, I just want a game where it's pass heavy and they don't run the ball every play because that's what I enjoy and I'm good at. Um,
opposite.
and and then the last thing for me is like I said, like the mindset. I learned a lot this year, especially in the club series. In the club series tournament, I lost in the online. I choked really, really badly, and honestly, it's not. I'm not that mad about the loss anymore. But then I went into draft champions, and I got super unlucky. I got a really bad playbook. I didn't have the best team, and I didn't end up making the tournament. But I put together wins, and I learned a ton from that tournament. And I gained a lot of momentum, and then I ended up making a really good run in LCQ. So I think just like moving off momentum and especially like mentally, my I think my mindset's really progressing to be ready to win games and like make a really good run and kind of put it all together because I know I can. If that makes
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to have, the confidence and everything in
sense.
yourself, and I
Yeah.
think that's huge going into these guys. Like you said, I mean, you've taken down probably the biggest dude. I mean, I don't think anybody holds three. Nobody else holds three, correct?
Mm-mm. No, he's the most.
And that's enough confidence in me right there. Like
Yeah.
I just knocked a
Yeah.
dog down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You just knocked
I.
up. That's David and Goliath right there. Like you
Uh,
knocked him down. Like that's got to be
uh,
enough for your mind just to set you in the right direction to just want to be everybody.
yeah. No, it definitely did. I want to be. I want to be more than that. Like.
What the
I've definitely
belt?
done more than that, but like I want to win a whole tournament. I want to win a belt. Like that's what I want. And I want it badly because I love Madden and I love competing in this stuff. And yeah, so I guess that's what I'm looking forward to in Madden 21
It's awesome, dude. Like I
is
mean,
deep run.
it sounds like you really got like from when you really got into it, and sounds like you're progressing in the right direction and
Yeah, no, I
yourself
definitely
and
agree. The second half of this year, I learned a ton. I'm really excited to take that in next year. Very excited.
that's gotta be huge for you. I mean,
hmm
now when did you start playing Madden? When did you start playing it
Um.
like competitively?
Oh, competitively,
Yeah.
Madden 19. Was my first year. Yeah, I just so I started playing the game. I guess you could say Madden 18 competitively. I played like weekend league. Um, and that was sort of why I wanted to get better. I was getting like 16 wins in weekend league in Madden 18. I was like, I want to get top 100, and I was obsessed with not obsessed, but I really really wanted to get top 100, and then I finally did, and I was so happy, and I just kind of kept wanting to get better. And then in Madden 19, I figured out how clubs worked. I signed up for like the salary cap stuff, and I just played salary cap all the time. And I played Fancy. I know he was in the chat earlier. Um, and we would just play. We'd play like 9 hours. There was times we'd play till like 9 in the morning, just playing the game. And yeah. Wait, I actually forgot what the question was, but I think that answer made sense.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I was basically asked.
Yeah. So
Basically
that's
just
when I started playing competitive.
asking
Yeah.
when
That's
you started
yeah.
playing and when you started playing competitively.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, so when my thing is, like, everybody's game just seems so different to me, and like, I guess knowing your field, how do you prep for, like, say, like you like, what was it, the last chance qualifier? Like they had to play game
hmm
after game after game. How do you
Yeah.
prep for so many people, like in your? How do you prep
Um.
for all the different styles?
Yeah. It's definitely a tough tournament. To prep for. Uh. It was nice because you could sort of you had time in between games, so you could know what to do. and it helped that we're at like the end of the year. So like I know I had to play like Wildcat, and if I played Wildcat in September, I would have no idea what to do versus Wildcat. But I played this game for 8 months. I know what to do versus Wildcat. Same thing. I played like near close in that tournament. I played Taysom Hill. I played just like the most random schemes ever, honestly. And I think it definitely helped just being at a time in the year where you kind of know what to do versus all those things. And I wasn't going to lose to like some gimmick offense is basically
Yeah.
how I felt, you know?
I just feel like I mean, like some of these groups have there's passing, there's running, but I
Mm-hmm.
just felt like I was looking at them just like, man, I was like, how do you prep for that? Like, how do you
Yeah.
like? I'm thinking myself like mentally because like I play football, like I said, hey, we prep for one team. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
one team, not
Yeah.
for multiple different players with multiple different styles of playing. Like,
Mm-hmm. And like for the Madden Bowl, when we were building teams with Decroft for his group, he had a guy who was going to run the ball and then two guys who were going to pass the ball every play. So he kind of had to, focus towards those two guys who were going to pass the ball, and he ended up beating them, but he lost the guy who ran the ball. And so it's kind of interesting how the preparation works out because like he definitely put more time into the passing.
I mean, his defense was really good at a point,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it just I don't know if it like nerves got to him and in that big stage, or I mean,
Oh
he
no,
just
that was
he just
different.
couldn't get the ball off, man. It was like
Yeah,
it
nah.
was Joke's defense was suffering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, so now like I think I don't know. To me, it always seems like if you would go in balanced, you would probably have a better like a really good chance of being able to do more than like some of these guys going in with no quarterbacks or going in with just a punter
Yeah.
and a
I
running back. Like
I mean,
it was
I want to
wild
say
to
the
me.
same. I want to say the same thing, but the
This
four
is
tournaments this year have been won by
it is
people
running.
that
I
don't
get
they
it.
don't throw the ball. So like,
I get it. Like I mean, it's just wild to me. It's
yeah,
like
no,
it's just
I feel like this year is sort of an anomaly though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I mean, it's just pretty wild that you can go in with like
yeah,
a 10 cap Eli or a Tress Way
Tress
as your
way.
quarterback.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
So like, I mean, we had, but D Croft. I mean, seeing his growth throughout that tournament,
Mm-hmm.
he became something serious, man.
Yeah,
Like
he's a
I
beast.
was super impressed. I mean, like he was just locking people up and whatnot. I watch
Mm-hmm.
a lot of him. I get in his a lot because he kind of got like that off schedule where from what I'm doing, and like
Mm-hmm.
we tend to run into each other a lot. You're streaming, I'm streaming. Try to pop in while I'm streaming. Um, but it's one of those things. It's like I got to watch where he was earlier in the year, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt like if he would like where he was earlier in the year to where he was at the year, I was like,
Yeah.
he made like a monster jump, man.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
was about to be a problem,
Yeah.
and
No,
I
I
was
think
like, I was like,
you know.
like watching growth between some of the players and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing to see where all how it happens.
Yeah. Um, I think that sort of happened with like our whole like friend group. We all like I was saying like the mental thing and
Yeah,
just especially with this game like you can figure out how to stop the run. That was honestly the biggest thing. Uh, and um, we're some of the best people at passing the ball. So at the end of the year, there was a lot of run defense, and um, we finally got to show what we can do. I guess so. It
yeah,
worked out.
man, definitely.
Worked
I'm
out for
looking
him.
forward to seeing what all you guys do. I know
Yeah, I'm
I
excited too.
get to see Fancy every once in a while. I like that. Like I really want to get what my goal is with everybody. I'd like to get Madden guys on here because like I
Hmm.
said to you when we first talked, I want to showcase you guys because you don't get the like yeah, you guys got your communities and everything, and not everybody like people from my community. Some of them just now got to experience their first Madden Bowl and their
Hmm.
first comp Madden. Like I know a lot of it. You know what I mean? I watch it
Hmm.
every year. I watch
Yeah.
every bowl that goes down, every challenge going down. Um, but that's the goal. I want to
Yeah.
get as many in here. And I mean, I'm not known like you guys. You know what I mean? Like I'm known enough. Like when the community know who I am, and that's the thing. It's like I'm trying to get as many of you guys on here because I just want them to get to know a little bit about
Hmm.
you guys and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So it's been like for you to jump in, I was like, whoa. I knew who you were, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know who you guys are. It's just you guys, like, I know you guys get worried about these things. So, like I said, I
Yeah, I was nervous.
appreciate it. I appreciate that you came on it. Because I know there's people out there just
Yeah.
gonna like eat you guys, try to eat you alive. You know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
say the wrong thing
Uh-huh.
and try to mess up things. And I get it. Like I
No, I
said,
think
like
yeah. Thank you for like inviting me on it. It's fun to try new stuff. So
yeah, I mean, so when so when you guys get into these groups, like, are you guys? How, do you guys switch who you're playing? Like when you guys are playing as a group, working on different things, or do you guys work like one person just works against everybody? It's just game after game.
um it's pretty much everybody plays everybody. There are like certain smaller groups. Like I play like Fancy and Decroft probably the most of anyone in our like group. But like everyone pretty much plays everybody because it's really important to see like a variety of different reps and try your stuff versus other stuff. Um, so I would say it's just whoever wants to play, you say, hey, anyone want to play? And then someone says, yeah, and we play and we run it. That's
Yeah. Now, when I now is there a reason that you kind of push yourself? You got I don't want to say push yourself, but you gravitate yourself towards Fancy and D Croft. Is there? I mean, I
um
imagine they're. I mean, they're your good friends and whatnot. I mean, I know
yeah.
that plays a part, but is there? Are they the ones giving you the best looks, or?
I think we play similarly, especially like offensively. Um Especially like Fancy and I play pretty similarly and like we run the same offense usually. So I like doing that sort of thing where you play against your own offense, and then like after the game, we can ask each other like, what should we do better? What are, like what are you doing on defense? What do you think I should do differently? That sort of thing.
Mhm.
And their feedback is really helpful to me because we just think similarly. So
Yeah, I mean, I just always wondered about that because I hear a lot of guys that be like, "Oh, I played this guy 500 times." Like, I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
why? What does 500 times do for you playing that guy? Like, what
Hmm.
happens if you go into a tournament and come across each other? You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
that's got to
Yeah,
be
I mean
that's probably got
that.
to be some of the toughest games is when that happens.
Yeah,
Somebody from your crew.
yeah. No, trust me. That's how LCQ was. It was all our friends playing against each other, and it was like all the games were ugly. We couldn't score. I think the most points in a game was like four. No, actually, Fancy had a lot of points, but like
Yeah,
no one could
Fancy went
score on
off on
offense.
his game.
Yeah, no one could score on offense though. He had a lot of defensive points, but like I think he scored maybe like two offensive touchdowns. Um, and like it's just so hard to play against your friends because they know all your plays. Like they know what you want to do. They know what gives you trouble because you go to them and you ask, hey, this is giving me trouble. What
Yeah.
should I do? And that's yeah. So
Now what like now when okay, so you're going in and you're gonna go play Fancy. What is do you change anything? Or do you continue running what you would
So
run?
for that tournament, I did change things because I added like Michael Vick and I ran like the QB draw stuff, which like kind of won me that game. Um, and so for that, I say yes, you change a little bit. But like the ultimate goal is to not play your friends and not have to play in the last chance qualifier. So
Yeah.
that's kind of an important goal moving forward for us is to make the Madden Bowl just like straight up and not have to play in for those last couple spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say yes, we change things up, but ultimately, I don't like thinking about playing my friends because it's not fun.
I can only imagine it. Like you're telling me you're playing these many hours against. This has got to be. You find out that you have to play that person.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, you've already prepped for so long. I guess it's not. I guess it would be possible to go and switch up and come in with something completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And then, what about what? What's your take on? I'm gonna get a little sticky with this one. What is your
Okay.
take on EA dropping these patches like a week or a couple of days before you guys are going to these tournaments?
Um, I hate it because the patches always change like more than they should. At the
Mhm.
same time, I understand it because the competitive community is like a small niche in the whole Madden community, and there's other bigger issues. But uh, most of the time, it honestly doesn't end up messing up too much because we usually play if it's within like 10 days, you just play on the old patch, and
Okay.
they've actually gotten really good about like timing it. where it doesn't really affect much. So generally, I don't mind it, and usually the patches help make the game better for the most part. So I'm usually okay with it, honestly.
I mean, like I know last year there was a lot of people because they were
Yeah.
dropping these things like a couple days. I think they dropped one
Mhm.
like a day before the tournament
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year.
They definitely did a lot better this year on like patches and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I like the beta of the game. I don't know if you got to run the beta this year, but
Oh
I got
yeah, I hated the beta, but
I like the
um,
beta. I thought the game was good in beta. I,
um there were certain parts of it I enjoyed. I didn't like the biggest thing. I stopped playing the beta because I hated it so much.
that's interesting.
Like
Like, I mean, what
yeah,
made you hate it so bad?
um, armbar, armbar.
Armbar make everybody hate it because it was
Yeah,
pretty bad
so
at the beginning.
yeah, like that's a perfect example of like a patch that I loved. When you couldn't juke out a user, you couldn't armbar a user. That's perfect to me. Like that makes the game better. I remember I was using like Tom Brady in the beta. He's still broken. They never patched him. He overthrows every pass because like the pass lead ability.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember I hated QB releases, and
They're
that was
still
pretty much
bad.
yeah. They're still bad.
They're still
So
bad.
that was pretty
I think Michael Vick has probably the best release.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has the best release. Uh,
Check him out. I
yeah,
usually don't tend to have like a pocket passer like that. I
yeah.
like to be able to move a little bit. Like my glitch
But
right now is Golden Ticket RG3
I have him. I,
because
I
of
like Vic, but yeah,
I just like the thing I like about having RG3 is having the ability to have pocket Deadeye. Then you could have dashing Deadeye, escape artist, and I like to do like inside routes Deadeye.
mhm,
So I'm able to do everything I want to do. You know, what I mean? I need to
mhm,
take off and run. I can go. I want to stay in a pocket. I can stay in a pocket. Like
mhm.
that's what I love about him.
Yeah.
And,
The abilities is
yeah,
amazing.
and I'm just like, that's just it's such a great thing. Amazing. I was just like,
Mhm. Yeah, they're very fun.
but I mean, your take on these abilities. What do you think about 'em? Like, what would you bring them back to Madden 21?
Uh, there's there's a couple abilities that I hate. Like basically the only abilities that I hate are like D line abilities, nasty streak, and like human joystick. I would not want them anywhere in the game. But there's other things that I think and catching abilities, so like post flag, like those sort of things. Um, but I do think somewhat like abilities make the game more fun in general. Like
They
the
belong
route
in the
ability.
competitive mode.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think so. I like the game without them. I think they're here to stay, so they're probably going to be back. Um, I just
Piss them
hope
off
they're a
next
little bit.
year.
Yeah, I just hope they're a little bit more balanced. I really the only ones that I truly hate are D line abilities. Um, but
I
I
hate
don't.
Moss. I can't stand that Moss
Yeah,
one.
Moss. Yeah, Moss
Because
isn't in salary cap, so
I
I
mean, like
don't.
I play against that. Like I don't do too not too crazy good at like I don't want to say I'm not good. I'm
Mhm,
probably not like run type of guy of the game.
mhm,
Like I can go in and get from I can probably get like 16 wins, maybe a little, maybe higher in
and
weekend
we can.
league,
Yeah,
and that to be able to cover that up, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'll have triple coverage on it. That man still catches it. He
The
turns and he scores a touchdown
yeah.
every
Nah,
time. I'm like, bro, come on, man.
the best is like they'll save it till like a 3rd and 2 on the first drive, and then they'll just randomly pull it out, and he has
You forget it.
Moss.
Yeah, you forget about it by then because you're looking at it on the first play and then they don't use it.
Yeah. Nah, I basically just like blitz 9 the first play if they have it, and just make them throw a drag or something.
I
That's
mean,
that's my counter.
this is my counter. I've tried it. I don't know. I don't think I set it up right. Um, going like now, would you Moss hiders or just so now with if they bring abilities back, like do you? I guess the look would be you guys going into salary cap. I mean, in the comp. I mean, would you prefer them not to have any like abilities at all going into like having and all that stuff like
Um,
that.
I mean, yeah, I would rather there be no abilities, but I guess if they're already in the game, like in MUT and in regs, um, like they're gonna have to be in tournament play because that's the game we play all the time. It would be
Yeah,
weird if it's like switched off. And I mean, they've already. I know, like Joker said, they're already confirmed in next year's game. So like,
you have to
it's
say to me, I'm not buying it.
yeah, it is what it is.
I say
But
that every year. I say I'm not buying it, and I buy it,
at the end of
and
the
I always
day,
buy
like
the big version.
at the end of the day, like I love playing Madden. I love the concept of Madden, like how it works, and I like football a lot. So I'm
That's
gonna
how I
play the
feel.
game, but I just hope it's good. I guess it probably won't be, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be rough this year. Honestly, I don't think we're gonna get what we would have got. Back of all the COVID stuff going on.
yeah,
But what do you think of this little take of 2K trying to push its way back in?
I haven't. Oh, the Madden stuff or
Yeah,
the
like
football game
yeah,
stuff.
the football stuff, ball game.
Um, see, I'm kind of scared about that because it's like a 2K street. It's like a street football game.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure.
It's
So
it's
I'm
not gonna be
worried.
like a sim.
Yeah, I'm worried. What that's gonna do is just push EA to make a game even more like that. Um, and maybe even like make abilities even crazier, like and uh, that sort of thing to compete with the arcade game that 2K is
Yeah,
putting out.
I mean, see, that's where I feel as they need to like make a strict like if you're gonna play competitive, it's strictly competitive. Like, it's a
Hmm.
strictly competitive mode. And then I feel like that's why you have like the KO modes and different stuff like that. That's like I always feel like there should be like a straight competitive mode, no abilities, it's straight football. Then you really because I feel is like some of these guys winning are winning just because of abilities. It's not really their stick game. You know what I mean? It's not really them doing the work. Like if you watch W's stick game is stupid. Like, and he has it's not even with abilities on it. It's just him pulling back on the stick and stopping and
Hmm.
going. Like that's what I would love to see, and I think it would make the competitive scene so much better. Like I mean, the competitive scene is growing, but I still feel like you guys are.
Yeah,
I mean,
um,
it's getting there, but I feel as big as a company as EA is, y'all should be paid. You
I
can't live
definitely
off
think
of what you win.
yeah for most of them.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I would say even more so than like the abilities in the competitive scene. It was just I just hated the run heavy. Like if the people that won the tournaments, like Joke didn't. I guess he had nasty streak and stuff, but like I think more so the game was worse than even the abilities in terms of competitive, just because it allowed you to run every play because the pursuit is so bad and the tackling is so.
yes,
Uh,
I've been complaining about tackling in pursuit all year.
yeah, so I
And then
mean,
like people that don't play the game like you and I have over 2,500 hours in this game
mhm,
as just a regular player because I love the game. It's my favorite game to play,
yeah, mhm,
and a lot of people don't understand that. And
yeah,
when I try to explain it, I'm like, look, there's a certain way that these guys should be playing these zones. Like deep blues should be playing deep blues, not
and
playing
not
dark
flats.
purple and flats. Like you know what I mean? Like they should be going deep. Like because there's a lot of times I don't know if you. I imagine you probably have experienced that. You play the game a lot. Is where your
Yes.
deep blue stay still, and the receiver is just going up the field with nobody behind them. Like, yo, where are you
Mhm.
at, dude?
Or you're throwing like a flat and a deep blue comes down and hit sticks you.
Or the corner, like the corner routes right now. There's like
Yeah, there's no way to guard a corner
no way
out.
to you can't guard it. I'm like, how can you guard that route? And then if you are smart enough to be able to play as you and myself, you attempt to jump the route and you still can't grab it.
Yeah,
Like you know where it's going. You see where he's going with the ball and you have it read. And you still go. I did that the other day in weekend league. I jumped this route 4 times. I had to pick an animation and it didn't pick
hmm
4 times in a row. And I'm like, dude, like, what do you do on that? Like, how do you
yeah.
continue
No,
to
it's
play?
definitely terrible.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get since the chat's cracking right now, we're gonna jump over into doing like the Q&A part of this and see what they have if they have any questions for
All right.
out of the chat. So
Yeah.
chat, it is open now, guys. If you have any questions for our man Jwall. Let him in the chat, and we'll get him asked, and I'm sure he'll on the answer. This is where it gets a little sticky. they got ScoMo good. I forget what they asked him.
What
They got I forget what it was. They got fourth quarter gaming pretty good too. They brought the microtransaction stuff. I was like, oh god, here we go. Guys, they're getting their chance to type it out. Like I said, guys, if you guys got questions, any questions, why? Yeah, we got if Fancy's still in here. We gotta get him. I gotta start. I need to start scheduling for some. Oh Jesus, they're coming at you. They want to know your thoughts on the transaction.
my thoughts on microtransactions?
Yeah, like to pay the women.
Yeah, I know it. I don't like it because, like, just from a competitive standpoint, I don't think you should be at an advantage because you've paid money into the game. I think it should be about like, uh, just like putting time in. And it's a clear advantage. Like if you have these cards, you can make a better team. And that's stupid. It shouldn't be about paying money to be better. It should be about who's better at the game. So I guess I dislike them. But at the same time, also from a competitive standpoint, it's more money into Madden, which means possibly more people, more money for like prize pool, hopefully. So maybe that's a positive, but
hopefully,
hopefully,
keyword, hopefully. All right, so I mean, yeah, I agree with you on the competitive side like that. I think there should be this info for you guys. Aspect. Not everybody got it worked out to where they can spend $1,000, go out and buy the card they want and the cards they need. There was another question. Since Madden has the rights to sim football, do you think it's still fair? Do you think it's fair to still corner that market when implementing arcade like features into Madden?
I mean, that's an interesting question. I guess that's just saying because the game is so arcadeish right now,
Yeah,
right?
it is very arcadeish.
I mean, I don't know. I doubt. The thing is, I doubt that anyone could like, as bad as the game is, like anyone's gonna come out with anything better in the near future.
Like, I think 2K could push it. I think honestly, the way I take on this question with you, I'm gonna take this question with you, is I feel as if like remember back when 2K was out. 2K is out. What did it do to Madden? It pushed Madden to be better. You know what I mean? So it made more sense. I truthfully would love to have 2K back pushing Madden or like them having some type of competitiveness between the football game because then it makes them better. It actually makes them work hard to make it better. It was just like when Live and 2K had to go at it. 2K pushed itself and pushed Live out the way.
Yeah, it's gonna make.
And now there's nobody behind it. Where's 2K? Everybody hates it.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, well, 2K, even if they made a football game, they should probably focus on their basketball game. It's not very good this year. It might be that game might actually be worse than Madden.
That's what I'm saying though. I think that has a lot to play with it. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
No competition behind it. That's like you get better if nobody's behind you pushing to take you out of your ranking. Take you out of your spot. You know what I mean? To get into the bowl. No, I mean like you wouldn't get better. You would suck.
Yeah. It's the basic like principles of economics and like business.
Yeah. Let's see what else. We ask it. That's what the show's about. It makes it festival. And function. And we are doing Q&A, Schuler. So if you have any questions for Jwall, let me that and we'll get. Guys, do you guys have any more questions? So you guys are in your little. You guys got your debate rocking in the chat. Oh no, go ahead and ask him. That's what this is for. Exactly what this is for. He
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be here if he wasn't cool.
It's fun. It's fun.
Your damn audio. I mean, you're getting there. You're learning Phineas. Like Phineas is another guy. We actually got him. He actually got to see his first bowl this year and like love it. He's never been
That's cool.
there. So
Hope
I
you
mean,
enjoyed it.
that's what I was trying to. That's what like. This is my big thing. Like I want it. Like they don't know. Like this is what I'm saying. Like these guys that are coming in, maybe new to it. They don't know you guys. Don't get to see you. Like if you don't make a deep run, they don't know who you. That's my whole goal. Is like there's more behinds than what you just see on the stage. Because you guys are helping.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you guys, if you get knocked out, you're helping these guys that are on the stage. Like you,
No,
are
for
helping
sure.
Fancy when Fancy's playing to get into it and try to make it helping you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and we're helping. Yeah, not for sure.
He said, what I noticed back in the day is when consoles from PS2 to 3 content was stripped, newer generation, there more content will be stripped like last time when they next gen. I guess basically we're gonna move to the next when they move to 5 and all.
So is that in terms of like in-game content, like your?
I would imagine. Are you talking like
Well,
in-game content
because
or?
I know they told you, or at least when it went last time from like Xbox 360 to Xbox One, you got your cards nat on the new generation. I'm pretty sure they already confirmed like you would have all that stuff
Well,
in game.
I think what he's asking is like they took like out of they took so much they took stuff out of franchise like when
Oh,
like
okay.
there was stuff in like there was all types of stuff where you did the combine, you did all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You had create player and they just all started just destroying. Like it just all
Mm-hmm.
disappeared. I guess he's talking like that. Do you think anything
Yeah,
will disappear?
I'm not sure it'll be. I know the big thing is just they're pushing MUT so much and not putting any time into like franchise at all. Like we play when we're bored, we'll just do like sim CFMs, like sim franchises where
Yeah,
we just
gotcha.
draft and like do the free agency stuff, and it's terrible. Like the sim engine and like just like how it all works just isn't good because they focus so much on MUT because that's where the money is. I don't think necessarily like the new gen will change that anymore as just like it's sort of just happening on its own because
I
they
just
want
like kind
money.
of stay still. I mean, do you think franchise disappears from the game?
Um, I doubt it because there is the like franchise people that buy the game just for that. But I don't think they're gonna put as much time. They're gonna put time into it and make it better. Um, just because MUT is where the money is and they want money.
Hey,
And
I don't pay. I don't. I barely put money into the game. I
nah,
grind.
I know
I
you
grind.
might.
Now I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
They're like, money's garbage because you pay to win.
Okay.
I'm like, bro, I got a 98 overall team. I ain't pay. I barely pay. Nah, I spend maybe. Honestly, I might put 200 into the game.
Yeah.
A season of a season of Madden. Because once it gets to a certain point, like once it gets to a certain point in Madden, like right now, it's so bad. Like the market's so bad. You can go spend
You
five
can get
hundred thousand
anything.
coins and have a bomb squad.
Mhm.
I mean, I like ripping packs. Like I like ripping it. You know what I mean? But I don't get into the whole ripping pack thing like ScoMo, CC, and all those
Yeah.
guys because they done lost their fucking minds.
Yeah. Well, it's also like that's like sort of their job. I mean,
Well, yeah,
that's why
I
people
get
love
it, but I mean, like
love watching.
they can write it off and all that and all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not it's not me. My wife,
Mm-hmm.
if I spent that much money on a game that I ain't got nothing to show for, I'm getting punched in the You coming right out the cut. Okay, so that's why I like it too. Let me spend. So now, is there? You guys got anything else? You guys got anything else for him? Because if not, we will let him rock. But if you guys got more stuff, um, keep going. Don't be afraid to ask, man. Everybody spend like there's.
Yeah, it's a
What,
common theme of spending too much on a virtual
yeah,
game.
I think it was like Roald Dahl said he spent like $10,000. He was like
Oh my
a year. I
god.
was like, way. No way. Like, I mean, I get it. You write it off and you got a good job, but there's no way I'm putting 10K in this
Mm,
game. No way in hell. There's no way. No. Wrong way.
yeah.
You won't. You can't get us in trouble. Like, I mean, we're
I
allowed to state our
yeah,
opinion. I mean, if he feels it could get him in trouble, he's not. He's just not going to
yeah.
answer.
No,
It's
but
simple.
I roast the game all the time.
Yeah,
As
he's a
long as it's not like
competitive. He's a competitive player. He's got the best opinion. One of the best. You're going to get the best opinion, guys, because they team what it's
oh,
for.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with calling the game bad. I just the only thing I dislike is sort of thing, but the game is bad and oh,
It's in a bad state right now. Like, it really is in a bad
mhm,
state. Like, I mean, if you play the game enough and you know it, like, game's bad. A lot that
mhm.
goes on that's too. This is matchmaking. Matchmaking. You view it as an issue.
Um, I I don't know. I mean, I don't have a great point of view on that because I don't play a ton of them. But like, I honestly, for me, like, I just want to play the best people. So I don't really view it as an issue, but I also don't have a ton of experience in it. So that's probably not the best one for me.
I think
Um,
matchmaking's ass in season, honestly, because
is it like what do you play just bad? Like what's wrong with it?
like okay, so like you can be in the division, like say you're not good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could be in this like low division wherever you start out, whatever it's called, rookie. Sometimes it'll put you with somebody at the top, like in all Madden division,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the middle of the game, it's going to be like, oh, we see you're not playing up to
Oh yeah, the skill
your
level thing.
opponent, your skill level. Nobody wants to see that message.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
already know I'm bad at the game. I don't want to see that shit.
I agree. Um, what was I gonna? The only thing for me is I have a different perspective on it because I play like competitively. So like um, I don't mind that like
I wouldn't
matching
mind
up
it
with
either, but
better
I'm not
people.
that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm down here. I mean, I usually stay like star level or the next one up, and like I can, like I said, I can rock. I'm not like deep run competitive guy at all,
Mm-hmm.
and but I can hang. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can hang with some people. Like, I'll probably get smoked by some people.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And yeah, I saw this other one about the EA
yeah.
employees last week. I
There's
just
one before that. There's actually one that
oh,
says,
okay.
"Do you think the NFL will reevaluate their contract with EA because of the state of the game?"
I hope so. I hope they'll push them, like we said, to get better because it's really, really, really bad right now. And uh, that's yeah, I hope so, but I don't know because I think more people are probably buying the game now than ever. I think the abilities to like the casual players probably look pretty good, um, which is kind of an issue for me. Like I know, like speaking just like casual people, like my friends, like they enjoy the game because it's Lamar Jackson is insane. Like they, you know what I mean? Like
I am.
to uh, yeah,
That's what I do. Like, if I see Lamar, it's like I automatically look. You're getting a spy from somewhere.
yeah.
You're not running all over me all day. We ain't having that. No.
Mhm.
Okay, so then the next one was, what do you think about EA employees lashing out on frustrated customers?
I wish they weren't on Twitter, or if they were, they just like didn't tweet from their pro. See, at the same time, where the feedback helps because I think it's important that they see feedback about what they're making. It also there's just no reason that they should go at people or people should be mean to them. Like I hate both sides of that interaction where people
Yeah,
go at developers for the game or where they're going at people to
I mean,
uh
people definitely take it over the top. I mean,
yeah, I
especially
agree.
like I think what like Clint this year, like
Hmm.
people were talking about murdering his family, and
Yeah, like
like I
that
mean it's a
it's a
fucking
video
video
game
game,
guy.
bro.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it is not somebody's life. It is not like where somebody's life. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly think I like the open door policy where you can like, hey, look, this is what's going on in the game. If people will concept things the right way and do it the right way, I think you see a better outcome and a better sense of direction for the game. You know what I mean? With if they're like, hey, look, this is what's going on, and have a conversation, not be like, oh, this fucking game sucks. Like, if you're gonna curse at somebody and you're gonna bring that type of wordage and you're gonna bring in that type of aggression, what do you expect coming back? Like, I mean, as a company, there shouldn't be anybody ever ever coming out their mouth. You know what I mean? I mean, and I
Mm-hmm.
get that they get to the point they're frustrated. Like
Frustrated,
Clint, I
but
think Clint got to that point. I mean, he took some heat, man. Like I
yeah.
said, people were in his inbox telling him they're going to threaten his family about murder him. They're doing all this other craziness, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you think that's going to do? A person can only take so much before he's going to pop and come back.
Yeah, but him tweeting out at some random dude that is mad at Madden doesn't help like
Yeah, it definitely
anyone
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't help any of the situation. I agree 100%.
at all. Yeah.
That's why I said, as a company, being in a company like EA, you got to keep your mouth shut, no matter how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that, you were a face of it. You put yourself out there in the first place, and world knowing what Twitter world is. I mean, look what they did to Rex when Rex was on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Raylo. I mean, I feel bad for that dude. That dude don't even develop the game. And they're constantly hammering that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I feel bad for him, like, truly, because most of the stuff he takes heat for stuff he doesn't have any control over.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he's that's the bad part about it. This guy is not like he's all he's doing is relaying messages. He doesn't develop the game. He's strictly a community leader, or whatever you want to call
him. Yeah.
Are you a fan of Good Morning Madden?
I mean, I watch it once in a while when there's like new promos and stuff coming out, and
We need
I
one of
like it.
those.
Yeah, I like it because they promote like different people's streams, which I think is really cool. With the drops and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And they'll promote like the competitive stuff as well. So I think it helps, and like it gets people coming back, and it builds like relationships with like the those guys. They're good like faces in the community, which I like. So yeah, I think it's good. I'm definitely a fan.
And like this is like I like it too. I mean, like I said, the only thing I had a problem with is when they had live stuff. It was the same people over and over.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
The community's bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
All those people. I mean, like I don't knock anybody for getting it because it's awesome, awesome. But once you got it and you're getting you get partner and all that stuff off of it, whatever. Like, why don't you work on building some of the other community people that are actually putting the time into it? That are actually, I mean, I know you have to watch who you put on. They did it. I think it was last year. They put somebody on here and bad. So the next question we have is, how does it make you feel in a competitive match when somebody uses and exploits against you, where the game animations are messing up in a unrealistic?
So usually for me, like in terms of like exploits and stuff like that, it's different. Because like what I view as like an exploit or like cheese, I know is probably like what I'm doing would be viewed in the same way. And most of like I don't know, it's tough because like I want the game to have the best skill gap, but I think in terms of like competitive Madden, like having the best skill gap, that won't always look exactly um like football. I think the most important thing is that it's just like consistent in terms of like competitive, because that's how you have the best people at the game like win, if that makes sense. Um but it's definitely weird because at the same time you want something that people are going to watch and enjoy watching, and it's going to look like football, and it's a weird relationship, I think, between those two for me.
I mean, I feel that way too. I think that's what kind of, I think when you hit on that is like you want it to be more realistic, so it's people watch it. And I think that's where where Madden needs to build that balance at, so people are throwing and passing, and it's not just run like this year. And
Exactly.
I'm gonna go against you on your when you're passing, because it's a Dubby thing too. Dubby doesn't want no running in the game at all. But
Yeah, I'm the same way, honestly.
but with passing, like I mean, it's the same thing. It was what was it? 1919 was all passing.
Yeah,
Barely
and
run the
there was
ball.
stupid stuff like high balls and like I think I don't know. I'm guessing one question I have is like in that like exploit thing. I think like blitzes, depending on how they work, are like good for the game and like consistent pressure. I guess is good for the game. But I know a lot of people would like call that cheese or
Yeah. Like
bad for the
see,
game.
my thing on cheese is where you got a guy who goes 5 wide and all he's doing is hurrying up and
I
throwing
missed that.
outs.
What'd
You
you
know what I
say?
mean? I said my thing on cheesing is like more like mine, like the way I look at it is like say I go up and somebody's coming out 5 wide and they're just throwing
You're
little.
cutting out for some reason. I
I'm
can't
cutting
hear you.
out. Am I good now?
I don't know if it's on my. Yeah, it's on my end.
Good.
Hello.
You there? Good.
Yeah, it cut out for a second. That was weird.
Okay. So like what I'm saying cheesing wise is like if somebody comes out, like this is my cheesing. I know there's plays that people run and whatever, but my cheesing is like when somebody comes out and they're running 5 wide and they're running little corner routes and you can't cover them. And that's all they do the whole way up down the field. They just hurry the ball up. Or then you got the guys that are just nonstop. They just want to nano blitz you the whole time and you can't cover it. Like some guys are ballsy enough. They bring 10 people, you know what I mean? And or they bring 9, 10, you know what I mean? Like that's cheesing to me. Like I don't want to play against that. Like I don't. Like I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
So that brings me to a question myself. Is you know how they have the house rules and you get what is it called? The timeout or whatever.
I'm scared. I'm scared of this one.
So they have the cooldown in it.
No, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. That's so like for me, I hate the cooldown because in my experience, there's like if there's a play in the game, I know how there's no way a person could run one play the entire game and I would never stop it because I know how to like stop it. But at the same time, I understand why people dislike it because
you can still run it you just gotta readjust your players.
Yeah, if you're not like the best at the game and you just want to have like a football experience, that's not what football looks like. They don't run the same play over and over. Yeah. Although they sort of do. If you couldn't stop it, I know.
Nobody's nano blitzing every down. Nobody's nano blitzing every down.
No, I know, but like the Patriots have gone like and called the play over and over. And
I mean, I get that. I'm saying like when you have somebody they're nano blitzing, they're bringing 9 people and like it's just with the defense abilities, like when the line stuff, you get an instant shed, you have no chance. Like there's nothing you're doing. It's kind of like what Joke was doing towards D-Cross towards the game. He was just coming and there's nothing you could do about it because he has the abilities to instant shed you and you don't even get 2 seconds. Those are the things that aggravate me.
But like I said, like in my experience, I think something like that would be really cool in non-competitive modes because that's where the people that want that sort of experience would enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in terms of competitive, I think if you can't stop one play, you're not the best at the game. Like then you don't deserve to win. So there shouldn't be something that's just bailing you out. You know what I mean?
So now, if you had the perfect competitive mode, if you could make the perfect competitive mode, what would it be for you? How would you have it set up?
I would like it to be pass heavy. I don't think it has to be pass every play, but I think the majority of like skill gap in Madden comes in terms of passing. I think an important thing for me is like blitzes. The way I think blitzes should work, if like you're sending like 6-on-6, like if you're sending one more, that should always come in, obviously. And if you're sending like 6-on-6 and like hovering with your user, like that should probably come in. But there's like I know in this game there's a lot of like 4-man blitzes that come in, like that sort of thing, and I hate that. I hate that for competitive mode because I think
if you're covered up, you shouldn't be getting in right away, anyways.
Exactly.
I mean, after a certain amount of time, I can see.
Yeah,
it's because everybody's gonna lose the block. They're not gonna hold.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like coming in free. I think that's important because.
That's what I'm saying. If you're covered up, if it's 4-on-4, you shouldn't be coming. Coming free.
It should just be like on both sides of the ball, I just want it to be a chess match between like a chess match that sort of makes sense in a way. It's not like I said, like a 4-man blitz coming in on 7 blockers makes no sense. Um, I get it's sort of a hard question. It's a lot that I would have to think about, honestly.
No, that's fair.
But the two things that come to mind are just like a more pass heavy game and the way blitzes would work. And also, I don't like that. I think zones, especially deep blues in this game, are probably a little bit too good in terms of like breaking on like flats and stuff, but they're really bad at just like playing their zone.
Yeah, they're definitely
And
bad
like
at
actually,
playing zone.
yeah, they're actually like they. I don't know. I think the zones in this game are really like bad. They tried to like
They're broke for sure.
They tried to like patch them into being good by just like making them play stuff faster, but they still don't play what they're supposed to play.
But
That's
what would you think like if EA would bring in like a couple like safeties that and actually have them get the real feel of how like these because you have Clint doing it. Clint was a lineman.
mm-hmm.
He was an average lineman.
Average.
But you have these guys like have the like I said, these guys like some of them never played the game,
Mm-hmm.
know the game, but like I think if they would actually get like these players, and they do it all the time, they cap promotion, all that stuff they have in players. They have Silas Reed from USC. He comes in and
Mm-hmm.
does their motion capture for them. That's a running back. But like
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a really cool idea if they would actually bring the people top tier guys, bring them in. Those guys will jump all over it. They love the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have a better understanding to the game. Do you think the game would change?
I mean it couldn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Never got
I
to
don't know.
experience that.
That's hard for me to know because like I feel like they know what, or they should know what the like zones and stuff are supposed to do. Um, I don't know. That's a tough question for me.
Now he had a question for you. Following up to that, you may use some expectations. Prefer them fixing that, even if it means you have to relearn things.
I guess it just depends on like what your definition of an exploit is. Because if you're just talking about like, it really just depends on like what the exploit is. I guess. Oh, another thing I want to point out in a competitive mode, I know it's really like one of the biggest issues is like you can't guard. There's a lot of routes you can't guard with like zones.
Yeah.
And I think in a competitive mode, if you could guard everything with like a zone or like there was a way to play things besides your user, that'd be really good.
Because if you're not using like the corners,
Yeah, yeah. If there was a way to like have your zone drop deep on a corner, but he'd give up a lot on a flat, like that sort of give and take would be really fun, and be a whole new way to play it. Like,
yeah, I mean, that would actually be that could make it.
Yeah.
Decide like if you want to give that up or if you don't want to give that
Yeah,
up.
exactly. It'd be a really fun.
First, you gotta get people passing the ball.
That's true. They don't do that.
But now to answer your question, Shula, there was no belt winner this year that has.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Mo threw like 2, but not much. Not much.
I mean, I always look at it like this: like people bitch about them running the ball and doing what they do, but you're also not playing for $65,000.
Mm-hmm.
Every he made. What did Joke make out of that? Wasn't I know he got first.
It was 65. It was 65.
So $65,000. I'm doing whatever it takes to win the game.
I would never blame the person.
Like I mean, I mean, in the game itself, yeah, that's annoying. But when you're playing for that type of money, you got to do whatever wins.
Exactly. Like you can never blame the person like for playing like that. It's the game is made where you can win playing like that. That's their fault. You're gonna do whatever it takes to win and win the money.
Do you think EA would ever try making? I guess that like trying to make it more realistic. I think they go back to the more realistic side of things.
I I don't know. It really depends on what the exploits are. I feel like that's just kind of how the game's always been. No, I mean,
There's
at
always a
least
way to exploit something. I
yeah,
mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can technically fix it because as soon as somebody fixes something, they find the next.
yeah. Um, there's some things where I like that they've taken out.
Yeah, I mean, reaction's pretty bad this year. That's what we talked about that earlier in the show with how guys are reacting to zones and how they're not playing how they're supposed.
Yeah, I actually there. I think at least on all Madden, I know on all pro it's a little bit worse, but like on all Madden, the zones, if you have high zone, they react to crazy. They're just not in the right spots. Like especially on the rollouts and stuff, like they're just not where they're supposed to be. So it doesn't matter how fast you react. It doesn't.
And he said,
And that's
one of
that's also
the next question for you: do you think there should be different modes, competitive and casual, and game is being balanced?
true. I okay. I don't know if I totally understand that, but there
There's two
already is
different.
sort of
Like, do you think I guess what he's saying is like it should be strictly where it's competitive, where I would imagine like down to the nitty gritty of just competitive without like all the extra shit,
mhm.
and brings in and casual side where you have all the craziness that you could.
No, I would like that because they could kind of hit both audiences, I guess, or both people that want to play. Um, and I definitely think they're moving more towards the casual side, like putting in the abilities, putting in the stuff that's just supposed to look cool.
100%
And
put it where it pays the money.
exactly.
Don't get me started when hitting triangle on the ball and watching the ball fly over my head.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I knew that one was gonna touch something. I think we've all had that experience. I get so mad with that how it locks you. But you know what? In a sense, I'm kind of glad it does that, and you don't get the super lurker like you used
Yeah,
to,
that's
where if you hit it and he's jumping 50 feet in the air and he's pulling it back down, like so. I mean, you have
I,
to give or take a little bit with that one. I mean, it sucks sometimes because you play it right and then
I enjoyed that change to like where linebackers aren't insane and like safeties aren't insane at like lurking passes. Much better.
I don't like how they. I'm so glad the super.
Except if they have lurker,
I
they
mean,
just
lurker.
jump them.
It's not as bad.
It's
Like
pretty crazy. I don't know.
I actually, you know where I what's I think what's better actually than lurker, and people might go against me on this, but I'm gonna have to say acrobat's better than it.
Acrobat gets
Acrobat is glitchy, bro. Like you're diving across the field, making
yeah,
dumb catches, like it's crazy. So that's like mine.
yeah.
How
I
did the
just feel like
universe come into existence? That's the
yeah.
next question for you.
No idea. I'm sorry.
No idea. Yeah, he doesn't have an answer for you. He said, "Keep looking." Guys, that's all you guys got. Like I said, if you guys got anything else, get them in now. But we can let him go. Probably itching for the sticks.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go eat dinner. That's what's after this.
But
Yeah.
if you guys are good, we're gonna let Jay get out of here. And like I said, you're good. So
All right.
if you
Thank
have
you.
like if you have any guys that want to get on here, like I would love to have
Yeah,
them.
I'll
Definitely
try.
looking for August. I have everything open in August right now, so more the
I
better.
will test them
I would
and
love to have the crew, bro. Like like even if we can do, I wouldn't even be hesitant to put all of us on time.
yeah, I'll try. It'll be fun. I enjoyed this. This was fun.
This is all it's about for me right here. That's all it's about. Like it's nothing crazy, nothing good fun, and getting your point of views and
Mhm.
letting these guys get to interact with you and getting to know you more than what you are as a pro and that little person side to you. But if you have anybody you want to shout out, you got sponsors, whatever. If you got any of that stuff that you shout out,
I got.
you can have at it, bro.
I'm
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
You can't even. You're not even going to shout the crew out.
I mean, I can
Oh, you
shout.
get you
Follow us
kick them out the
on
crew.
follow us on Twitter. Tenacity. What is our at? Tenacity TNC. Follow us on Twitter.
There you go. That's the
Follow us.
crew. That's the crew he runs with, which is that crew. If there's, I don't know how many's in it, but I know the two that are in it. You got Fancy and you got D Croft. They run with Jwall. I don't know if there's more. He can tell you if there's more players.
You guys might know like Civil.
I know Civil. Been trying to get him on here. He never answered me back.
And we're adding a lot of people too, so be on the lookout.
Here you guys go. That crew's gonna be blown up. That crew's got some players in it. You guys got to see Fancy playing in the LCQ. You got to see D-Craw finish in second. So next year, maybe you get to see the whole crew run through everything.
Yeah, hopefully. All right.
He said, "Go Raiders."
Yeah, no, I'm actually a Lions fan. So
a Lions fan. That's interesting.
Thank you for beating us this year, by the way. Thank you for beating us.
That's an interesting one. How did you become a Lions fan?
Calvin Johnson. I just love watching that dude.
Yo, he dropped a freaking 5 bomb. Let's go.
Let's go.
6 actually. He dropped another one right after that. I think maybe I'm counting wrong. I can't count. Yeah. But appreciate it, guys. Like I said, we're gonna let Jay get out of here. Jay, I appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you for having me.
Having some fun, man.
All right. Have a good night.